to run, grab your bug out bag, hit the road, and disappear in the woods.
Alright y'all, welcome back to Rapid Ridge Outdoors. We're sitting here where the Trinity River starts at the forks. There's West Fork, and that over there is Elm Fork. So we just made it into Dallas. Got to get through the concrete jungle before it gets dark. Should make it to McComas Bluff by probably 1 o'clock, I would say. I'm going to try to get about 10 miles south of there before I make camp. There's not going to be a whole lot of recording coming through Dallas, because really just need to put the pedal to the metal and get up out of here. But put in Trinity View Park, about 2 miles up from the forks where the Trinity starts, and from there to back to Freestone County where I'm going to end the trip is 180 to maybe 185 miles. Should take me 5 days, considering my average speed is about 3 miles an hour. So I'm not going to rush it after I get out of Dallas. That building there, that's that restaurant that's up on a tower that turns. Pretty cool. I just heard about that today. I don't care too much for the city, but I tell you, those arches are incredible. They've got to be over 300 foot tall, and that must have been a feat putting that together. That's absolutely incredible. Well, we had our first near accident. There's some whitewater, some rapids underneath I-45. I didn't see the last half of it. The first half was perfectly safe to go on, but the last half was not quite so safe and almost lost the canoe. I'm gonna fill this canteen up, take y'all over there where it almost happened. Yeah, here they are right here. That first set wasn't bad, but this one right here caught me off guard. I came in a little sideways and just about rolled it. But yeah, got out of it, and we got a long way to go. That way, there's my dog. He's getting cool. He's liking his new life jacket, that's for sure. Ain't that right, buddy? You swimming? You swimming, buddy? Well, here we are about a half mile down from 45. Hit our first snag, little Lowhead Dam. It's not very bad, but I'm not going to chance going over it. And then right after that one, there's another one right there at that bend, so I'm going to have to port around it too. So, well, we're on the downstream side of that dam now. Got all the gear out. I'm going to put it back in the canoe. Take my rope, and I'm just going to walk down the bank just to ferry my stuff over to the next one. It's only about 100 yards. Me and the dog are just going to walk and pull all the gear to it. And there's just a little rock riprap that comes out the side, so we'll unload everything again and take it back over. Electrolytes, it's what plants crave. Sweating profusely. I'm worried about running out of water. Expecting it to be cooler than it is. And it's still hot. It's 90 something degrees, and I'm going through a lot more water than I thought. Looks like I'm going to be drinking river water by the end of this trip. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull the canoe over there to that next one. It's not worth getting the dog back in, getting me back in, and trying to minimize the amount of time going in and out, because that just makes it more likely something's going to get lost. Keechar, come on, buddy. There's plenty of sticks between here and home. Come on. Come on, dingus. That's a good boy. Come on. Come on. So here we are at McComas Bluff. We got this bit of, I'm not sure if this is a low water dam or what, but it's pretty mean. I was debating on just going across it, but I think I'm gonna decide to go ahead and port around it. I've got room to walk. no sense in risking losing anything, because that one that about rolled me underneath I-45 looked about like that. So not worth sinking. I don't know if y'all can see it, but right over there is the first lock. There's a couple more of them down the way, but I'm gonna make camp a couple miles south of there. I'm about all paddled out for one day. Whew. There's a lock. That's bad news. Bad news. I'm about to pass out. Haul this canoe up that bluff. I couldn't even tell you last time I worked this hard. Alright, so we got the canoe up here on top of the spillway, all the gear out. I had to cut a cotton picking trail with a machete just to get through this mess. You can't tell how thick it actually is, but it's full of vines, greenbrier. Yeah, here's the dam. It's big, and it's a problem, and it's way down there. So we got up around it. I'm gonna have to set up the rappel ropes here and let the canoe down all the way down there, then rappel me, the dog, and the gear down there. So that's gonna be fun. Well, about 8 o'clock in the morning of day 2. I wanted to record more getting up around the dam yesterday, but it was getting dark on me and I didn't have time to set up the camera, and I did not bring the right camera mount, so I'm having to hold the camera a lot too, which is a shame. But yeah, that bluff right there that comes up, yeah, it's hard to tell with the way the GoPro actually shoots something, but it's taller than it looks. It's probably almost 30 foot right there, and yeah, rappelling down there was a chore. They had to lower the whole canoe down. I used a brake around a tree to help lower it down. Had to make another ascend up, tie the radio and the water jug to my Swiss seat again, and then lower, and then come back, grab the pack, do it again. Then had to grab him and strap him between my legs on the seat, and he wasn't too happy about that. I think he's still a little mad at me. Hey buddy, you mad at me? We had to do it. Yeah buddy, we had to do it. So when I make camp tonight, I go over all the gear and stuff I brought, some of the holes I found in it, things I wish I would have done a little bit better. But all in all, the gear and equipment's held out really well. Looks like I'm going to be short on water though. Probably end up having to purify river water next 2 days. But when I make camp, I'm going to set up camp early tonight. We're going to set up the ham radio, make some contacts back home, and give you all the whole nickel tour. So this is the South Dallas pump station. A little bit of white over there is all the clean sewage water being put back in the river, and then there's this pretty gnarly rifle right here. I might make it across, but it's just not worth the risk of losing any gear. So got to forward another one to pull everything out, drag it around. I might make it, but yeah, it's just not worth losing any equipment over. Too far from help to risk losing anything. Yeah, so there's the South Dallas pump station, letting the water back in. Honestly, it's not very, doesn't even smell all that bad, which is surprising. It's actually pretty clean. But this is the lock just upstream from South Beltline Road. I'm glad that it's more or less dilapidated. Looks like it's blown through right there in the middle, so easy sailing. Poor dog's ready to get home. He's tired. Ain't that right, buddy? I think he slept harder than I did last night. Well, just stopped here about half a mile north of Malloy Road, about to make camp. I just found a dog toy on the side, so I'm about to wash it off and make my dog's day. I'm pretty tired. Teacher, look what I got. Look what I got. No. I'm gonna take your ball. No, I'm gonna take your ball. So just set up camp. Dog's already taken over the tent. So I've got there a tarp and a wool blanket I keep rolled up and strapped to the bottom of the Atlas pack here. And Atlas pack's pretty standard. We'll get into that in a minute. But I carried the Atlas pack behind me in the seat and used this stick to sit there and put the straps around on the pack to help support me like a chair. Plenty of ropes, stuff to make a Swiss seat with. Definitely came in very handy on that last dam. Carabiners and all that good stuff. And carrying a solar panel for this ham radio box. Made it out of a jumbo ammo can. Got a 50-watt radio in it. Does pretty good. And it's got a 30-foot piece of coax in here with a little Slim Jim wire antenna. So we're about to set it up. See about making some contacts. Got a 3.5 gallon water jug. Almost used all the water already because trip's been rather physically demanding. And a life jacket for my dog. Actually pretty impressed with this, and he didn't ever get too hot in the boat, so I like it. So let's get into that pack. So keep in mind I've already pulled some of the stuff out. I pulled the tarp and everything off the bottom of the pack, and had to get into here to grab a zip tie. So I had this bag stuck up under here with some extra BDU sleeves and poncho right there at the top. My whoopee. Got some Ziploc bags kind of thrown on it to help keep it dry. That's going in there with me tonight. And new socks, and those are going on me tonight. I'm soaking wet. This was the third magazine I didn't have room for on the outside, as well as a pouch if I ever wanted to carry it. And broken down MREs. Got 4 of them down there. And in here I have some fine reading material in a Ziploc bag to keep it dry. All the maps go up here in this flap, map flap. Med kit here on the side. Lots of gauze, big band-aids, antiseptic, and a skin stapler, as well as a tourniquet here on the outside in case, I don't know, hopefully never need that, but just in case. Water here on the side. I already lost an Atlas clip out of it. Those are some aftermarket clips I'm not too impressed with, but it does have the water tabs. No kidney can on here because in this pouch I have a stainless steel can. I keep a lot of my seasonings in, and coffee, and it's got a little cup in there, so that stays in the kit. That's why this one doesn't have a kidney can, and the kidney can is on my belt. And here I have random stuff. Ziploc bag full of snuff. Oh, some liquid IVs, some protein bars, granola bars. Ew, that one's been smashed. But that's what I keep in there. And over here on this side, keeping the extra AR mag and one of these small Molly pouches full of flashlights and a couple extra chargers and batteries for the GoPro. That pretty much wraps up the pack. Strap a machete on the side of it. That comes in super handy for throwing the structure together. Probably going to be using it again here too to rig something up for the J-pole on that antenna to get some height. But this little bag here, this little bag full of randomness, kind of some redundancies, because I can charge all my stuff off this battery bank right here for quite a while. But I was going to bring it anyway in case I lost this or this failed, because this does have a power strip that I built into it where I can charge with a USB port and recharge this with that solar panel. So the idea is to keep that going as long as possible and use this for backup. Fishing kit, extra batteries, pretty much the usual stuff for that. Charging cords for the handheld on my side and for the phone. Yeah, that's pretty much it in the way of the bag. So I am carrying an AR, got a flashlight on it, and carrying 2 extra mags for it. Modified a sling from a different rifle. It's got paracord on it, so that's a lot of paracord wrapped up if I ever needed any. There's a lot right there. And as far as what I'm wearing, this is an inflatable life jacket. You pull this cord and it's pretty nice. I've never used one before, but definitely not going back. As far as the belt, I kind of configured this in case I did fall out and maybe lost all the equipment. But canteen with the kidney cup in it, and water purification tabs, K-bar, and 1911 guy all the way, with 2 extra mags right behind it, as well as a ham radio that I've taken the antenna off of and put in a Ziploc bag so it'll stay dry in a rollover. Got a couple lighters on me, and that's pretty much it for what I'm carrying on my person. I printed these maps up at the local library with the help of a friend of mine up there. Got them laminated, key ring into it. This is Trinity View Park we put in. Right here at the forks is where the river starts. I put in there, made all the way through this mess of Dallas. Made it through Dallas. Now over here is where we camped the first night. It's just north of 20 at the Dallas County Nature Preserve at McComas Bluff. And that lock right there, whew, that was bad. That was super bad. It would have been impossible to do without ropes and rappelling gear. I'm sure glad I brought it. I picked up there kind of late this morning. Came here past 20. Went over lock 2. And now I'm right here in this horseshoe just north of Malloy Road. So this trip's taking a lot longer than I thought. All these obstructions in the river is really eating up some time. On top of that, the river is extremely low and hardly flowing at all. So between having to drag the kayak over, or drag the canoe over lots of rocks and things like that, and the 4 dams so far, it's been pretty slow going. So probably end up having to pull out early in order to make it back before Monday. There's a bunch of pigs there on the other bank. Counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them. My dog is trembling. He wants a piece of them so bad. He's just shaking. He's covered in scars from all the times I've had to sew him up. He thinks he's tougher than he really is. There they go. Finally heard me. So I hate to pull out early, but I bit off a bit more than I could chew. There's a lot of dams and a lot of shoals. And I'm 3 days in now, coming around the bend at Malloy Road. And if I go past Malloy Road, it's going to be at least 2 or 3 days to 34 at this pace. I've only got a quart of water left. Luckily, my granddad doesn't live too far from here, so he's going to be picking me up at Malloy Bridge. We're going to have to pull out and finish this adventure another time. 'cause I'm about paddled out. The river has no current, so I'm having to fight for every bit of movement south. But yeah, this trip would be absolutely impossible in a flat bottom boat, and probably couldn't have done it without the rappel gear from McComb's Bluff. Looking back at everything, pretty happy with what I brought. I should have went light on the food and heavy on the water. Day 3, I've already been through 3.5 gallons of water. I'm on my last quart right here. I'm not drinking river water because I've already seen 3 trucks and probably 20,000 tires in it, and 5 hobos taking a bath. I really don't want to drink this water, at least not up here anyways. Well, we're just north of Malloy Road, and there is a serious shoal right here. Not like a waterfall, ankle deep water leading up to it, and pretty good drop off over there. Have to ford around it. Looks like a good spot on this side to get around. Man, have a look at that. That's impressive. I wish I would have continued on a little bit further last night. I could have made a good camp right here. You know there's some good fish down there. Hey, that's impressive. Now, this is just about a quarter of a mile up from Malloy Road. Man, that's awesome. Man, have a look at that. Yeah, you know, it's hard to tell size in a GoPro, but where it's coming off over there might be 5 foot tall. That's impressive. I just pulled the canoe up with a rope. Got up here, cut it off, and just pulled it. But it's too steep to walk up for sure with any kind of gear, so now I've got to throw the rope back down, tie up a Swiss seat, get everything else back up here, then blaze a trail down that way and get to the road. So there's a length of rope about 12 foot long. How you tie a Swiss seat, you double it over where it's even, hold it here on your side, come around you, make sure you don't lose that middle point of the rope here, right in front of you here. Go around it twice, cinch that down tight like that, go in between your legs, then back here where the rope is, take and come under it like so, under and over it like so. You grab these, you cinch them down, then come back around to the side over here. And then throw a square knot in it. Just like so. Now you can put a carabiner here and use a press-it for a progress capture. Throw it over, send it back down. And we're heading back down. Coming down the Oh, I gotta go back, got the Atlas pack up here. Now I've got to get the radio. Gotta get the radio. Poor dog, he's tired. So right here I've got a press-it called a progress capture on my main rope going up. I've got another rope going down holding some dry goods and my ham radio, and it's steep enough that you can't walk up it, but not steep enough that I need a foot pressing to gain height. So this right here, hopefully I gotta earn some ground, and I'm gonna take this knot and slide it up, and it locks. Or I'm talking with an antenna in my mouth. And it locks. That way I can lean back like this and save my progress, so to get up the hill safe. Yeah, most of what I've had to deal with on this trip would have been impossible without rappelling. Yeah, I sure do love this river. Dog does too. But she sure is mean. Been 3 days now. Not gonna lie, kinda glad to get home. Well, y'all, that's it for me today. Hope y'all enjoyed today's episode, but plenty more like it coming up. So, till next time, y'all take care. Appreciate y'all watching.